Good morning, dear students. How are you? I think you are all well and passing your time in this situation with care. Dear students, due to corona crisis or corona pandemic, you are in great loss in respect of your study. So our effort to minimize your loss, and so we have arranged online classes. The students, today I will discuss with you an important topic from English second paper entitled right forms of verb. You know, when you want to correct the form of a verb, you have to bear in mind some factors. At first, you have to know about the subject of the verb, because according to the subject the verb will be used. If the subject of a verb is singular, then the verb will be in singular form, and when the subject of a verb is plural, the verb will be used in plural form. So at the time of correcting a verb or the forms of a verb, you have to, of course, bear in mind subject, tense and voice, of course, because you know some verbs are used in active form and some verbs are used in passive form in the given context. So today we can start our class. Here I have already written the topic and subject name, English second paper, right forms of verb. Today I will discuss with you finite and non-finite verbs and their uses. So let's go. We can start our class. Finite verb. At first we can discuss finite verb. Finite verb. Okay. Finite verb. You can ask, sir, what is finite verb? A finite verb is the main verb of a sentence which perform the action of the verb completely. Finite verb perform the action. A finite verb performs the action. A finite verb performs the action completely. Perform the action of a sentence or clause completely. So we can say a finite verb always perform the action of a sentence of an independent clause. So we can give example. Okay. First, I can write a sentence. The boy tried hard. The boy tried hard to make a good result. The boy tried hard to make a good result. Here, if you notice, you can find here the boy is subject, tried is finite verb, to make is another verb and it is a non-finite verb. So in this sentence, tried is of course finite verb, and to make is a non-finite verb, to make. This is infinitive, one kind of non-finite verb. So from this very sentence, you can notice one thing, that a finite verb always indicates the tense of the sentence. In fact, it shows how, or it shows what is the tense of the sentence. You can find this sentence is written in past indefinite tense. Tried, here is the principal verb, a finite verb. So finite verb shows the tense of a sentence, and it also is used according to the subject. But non-finite verb does not show any tense, or it doesn't show subject relation. So past indefinite or past simple past form of this sentence is of course a finite verb. We can analyze more here. This sentence is a simple sentence. The boy tried hard to make a good result. If a simple sentence contains more than one verb, then one will be finite verb and another verb will be in non-finite forms, of course. So, dear students, finite verb always shows you subject, tense, and number person of subject, of course. If we write another sentence, the girl tries to learn the rules of grammar. Here, if you notice, here the subject is third person singular, the girl, and tense is present indefinite, and this is the finite verb of this sentence, tries to learn. Here, to learn is a non-finite verb, infinitive form. So in this sentence, as it is written in present indefinite tense and the subject is third person singular, so I have to add s with the verb. You know, when the subject is third person singular number, in case of present indefinite tense, we have to add s or es with main verb. So here the finite verb shows the person, of course, as this is a third person subject, singular subject, third person singular, the verb has been used adding s, adding yes, try yes, adding yes. Okay, so finite verb always indicates subject, tense and number, person of a sentence subject. Okay, finite verbs, and I will try to clarify you now non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs, you have to know well what is or what are the non-finite verbs, or how many types of non-finite verbs are there. You have to know. You know, non-finite verbs doesn't show you tense and subjects, number and person of a sentence. Non-finite verbs never show you, non-finite verbs never shows you subject, tense. Non-finite verb, non-finite verb, you know, there are three types of non-finite verb. Three types of non-finite verbs. First one is gerund. Second one, participle, and third one is infinitive. So dear students, there are three types of non-finite verbs: gerund, participle, infinitive. Now we will know their definitions and uses. Gerund. What is gerund? Gerund. Number one, gerund. What is gerund? Do you know what is gerund? How? Gerund is the present participle form of a verb which works both as a noun and verb at a time. We can write down a gerund. A gerund is the ing form of a verb A gerund is the ing form of a verb which show which works both as a noun and verb at a time. So gerund is the present gerund is the ing form of a verb which works both as a noun and verb. We can clarify gerund with an example. If we give example, you will understand well. Swimming is a good exercise. Swimming is a good exercise. Here, if you notice, swimming is a gerund. It has been used as the subject of this sentence. So swimming works as a noun in this sentence and at a time as a verb also. So swimming here is a gerund. We can give another example. Walking is good for health. Walking is good for health. Here walking is also gerund here. So I hope you have understood what is gerund. So next, non-finite verb, participle. Dear students, you have to remember that participle are of three types. There are three kinds of participle. First one is present participle, past participle and perfect participle. First one, present participle. Present participle, you know, when we add ing with the present form or base form of a verb, it's called present participle. And present participle, all participles work as both adjective and verb, in sentences. So present participle is the present participle is the ing form of a verb which works both as adjective and verb at a time. Dear students, present participle means the ing form or ing form of a verb which work at a time as adjective and a verb. We can give example here. Present participle example, okay. Trying to get on a running bus. Trying to get on a running bus make us a fatal accident. Make us a fatal accident, Trying to get on a running bus. Here running is a present participle, of course, which modified as noun. So here running is a present participle because this running participle modifies noun bus. Okay, here is present participle, example of present participle. I think it is clear to you. Next, we can discuss about past participle. Past participle, what is past participle? Number 2, past participle. The students, you know, past participle is a form of verb, but in respect of non-finite verb, past participle is the past participle form of a verb. Is the past participle form is the past participle form of a verb which works both as adjective and verb. So you know, participles are always at the times adjective and verb. So past participle is not an exception in this case. So past participle always will work as a verb and adjective at the same time. Now we can give an example of past participle adjective. Past participle they welcomed their elected president. Here in this sentence, elected is a past participle which modifies noun president. So dear students, this is the example of past participle. This has been used as past participle adjective. Last one, we will define infinitive, another non-finite verb. Infinitive. Number 3, infinitive infinitive. You know what is infinitive? Do you know? No? Okay, I will clarify what is infinitive. When we add to before the base form of a verb. When we add to before the base form of a verb, it is called infinitive. Okay, infinitive is another non-finite verb. You have to remember that non-finite verbs cannot be used as main verb in a sentence. So these three kinds of non-finite verbs are used in the sentences to describe or to tell about actions which is not completed fully. So infinitive, what is infinitive? I have already written. Now we can give example of infinitive here. To draw is his hobby. We can say is his hobby. Here to draw is infinitive. Here the infinitive has been used as the subject of the sentence, to draw. So we have already discussed three types of non-finite verbs. First one is gerund, second one is participle, third one is infinitive. But I have already discussed participle. You know there are three types of participle: present participle, past participle and perfect participle. Perfect participle, perhaps it has not been discussed. Perfect participle. What is perfect participle? Having plus, dear students, having plus past participle form of verb can be said perfect participle. Having plus past participle of verb. Having plus past participle of a verb is called perfect participle. Perfect participle. Item number 3 of participle. There are three kinds of participle: present participle, past participle and perfect participle. So perfect participle structure is having plus past participle form of a verb, past participle form of a verb. We can give an example here also. The sun having said, here having plus past participle of verb, having said, we returned home. Okay, here perfect participle having plus past participle form of verb. This is the example of perfect participle. Dear students, we have already discussed some points on finite and non-finite verbs. So from this discussion, what we have learned? We have learned that finite verb is the main verb of a sentence or of any independent clause, and finite verb always shows you tense and the number person of a subject. But non-finite verb can never show you the number and subject of a person, and can never show you the tense of a sentence. So non-finite verbs are of three types. There are three kinds of non-finite verbs I have already discussed. Now we can discuss about the subject verb agreement. I have already mentioned that at the time of correcting the form of a verb, you have to know some important factors, or you have to remember some important factors. One is subject. You have to know the number and person of the subject, then you have to know the tense, and then you have to know the active or passive form of the verb. So dear students, today you have learned finite and non-finite verb. I hope you will be able to identify finite and non-finite verbs in sentences, and you will be able to correct the form of verbs in the given context. So in the next class, in my next class, I will try to discuss about rules of the verb in details. So today I will say goodbye. Thank you.